What's up, everybody? This is Daniel with POV Pool, and we are live from POV Pool headquarters in Los Angeles. You see how live things go? Not everything goes perfect and smooth, but we'll work on it. Welcome to POV Pool's LiveCast. I started this up because, well, for obvious reasons, we're all stuck at home. And, we're quarantined, lockdowns everywhere, and, we've had to cancel a couple of events already, and so we're kind of wondering when we're going to do more. I've been sort of like adjusting to this whole social distancing situation, trying to figure out how to work around. I've been seeing a lot of stuff out there in the media, a lot of ghost matches, and I see Facebook is full of tons of people that are streaming from their garages on Facebook and other mediums like YouTube and Twitch. Streaming their home games with their friends. If you can create a situation like that where you have access to a friend that has a table at home, and you trust each other to sort of establish a closed loop of exposure, where you kind of make a pact with each other to not associate with other people besides your families and like immediate family at home, then I support that, going out and playing pool with a friend if you have one that has a table at home. But without further ado, I will also give a special thanks to some people that have been very important to me and to POV Pool, especially in the past few months with all of this stuff going on. Some work associates I really want to thank are Delbert Wong, the owner of California Billiards. The owner of Family Billiards in San Francisco. To Jason Weir in Palm Desert, California. Also want to thank Vicky Pineda in East LA, Montebello. I want to thank Donnie Wessels and Martin over at West State Billiards for working with POV Pool, working with me, and with Mazen Shuni, founder of 3cushionusa.org. I want to thank you. And also to Tony Calamdarian, owner of Tyner Products. The reason why I'm thanking these guys is because, specifically, these guys put me to work just before all this quarantine stuff went down. And, they didn't know it, but what they actually did was they enabled me to kind of like survive a little bit and put a little money in my pocket so that we, could get through this quarantine situation. I made sure I had groceries in the house and we got the utilities paid and all that. And, I'm just very grateful to those guys for putting me to work, putting a little dough in my pocket. In addition to some of the donors out there, the supporters of POV Pool, I want to thank you guys, specifically Russ Zorn. Every time you're on our stream, you always leave some kind of a super chat in the chat room. Also want to thank Robert Jobski, who made a very generous donation to POV Pool before this all went down, the whole quarantine situation. And I want to thank Billy Roach. He is a longtime supporter of POV Pool, and I want to thank you, buddy, for not just your little contributions to us every once in a while, but also checking in with us and letting us know you're okay, because I know you're out there in Conroe, Texas, and you're against the elements over there. You live in a small town, and you got to, it's a different life out there, not city life, not as easy as it is for us. Also have a few friends I want to thank. I want to thank Chris Swartz, owner of California Billiards, Jerry Machen, the owner of Sticks Billiards, Charles Malky, the owner of Ivy Organic Gardening, and also I want to thank Dennis Peterson. You guys, you may not feel like you've done much for me, but it may seem small to you, but it's really big to me. You know, just supporting me spiritually and kind of like emotionally. You know, you like talking me through things and kind of like helping me to discover things that about myself and about you know what steps I need to take. So I consider you guys all mentors. So, yes, Jonathan Pruneda, it is a different life in Conroe. And by the way, hello to all you guys watching right now. Sydney B., John Pruneda, Justin Marks, hey, Rubster 760, Bang Time Pool, Snooker, and the Commander, Bank Pool, Russell Gallo, and all of you guys that are watching right now. Thanks for joining. I've got some current events I want to discuss with you. We want to kind of provide you a little bit of hope. Let me just quickly let you know why I'm doing this, okay? Because we are here sort of in quarantine. We're not really able to go and play pool, to go and do any things. And as you guys know, POV Pool has been streaming live events for, you know, many years, 8 years now. And it's now very suddenly become difficult for us to do that. So what I thought I might do is to try to provide you guys with a bit of a stage, like a forum, so to speak, so that we can kind of pull all this back together. I know there are a lot of room owners that might be in jeopardy of closing down. I know that there are some room owners that are trying to make the most of this situation. They're, you know, making renovations, they're cleaning the place up, and they're doing okay. You know, I mean, it's not easy, but you know, there are some reports of rooms like bull shooters. They just changed all their lights. They have all new flat panel lights now at their pool hall in Mesa, Arizona, Phoenix, and Jerry Machen, who I'm going to be actually going to visit. I'm going to go visit him on Thursday. It's just going to be me. And I'm going to go visit him and do an interview with him because he's doing some things to his room that that are kind of, he's working to turn it around so that when we, you know, start opening places back up again, we can do it safely, and that you guys will have a really nice pool hall to go to when that does happen. So hats off to all those guys that are doing things, and I want to provide a forum. So if I can talk to any of you guys out there that are fixing up your rooms, that are doing things positive for the future of pool, you know, I would love to have you guys on the show and introduce and maybe share your ideas with some of the people that are out there, all the viewers that are out there, and all of the people that are hungry for pool, and trying to figure out a way back in to the world, to the pool world, you know. So that's one reason for doing it. Another reason is I'm restless. I've got I want to do things, man. I need to stay active, and unless I'm, you know, I kind of miss everybody. I want to reconnect with you guys, and so this is the only way I feel like that I can do that right now. So this has not been. I just want to tell you something about myself. This has not been easy for me, this whole quarantine. You know, I have to count myself lucky. I'm not the only one who's suffering. And I know that there are people out there suffering way more than I might be suffering. But I do battle with depression, with, kind of like fear of the future, and battling with my declining health. I feel like I'm getting older, Anyway, I don't want to get too much into it, but it's been a very difficult adjustment for me. It's been very hard for me to get off my ass and do something about it. And that's, something I think that I know that I'm not alone with, because, when it comes to change, sometimes we don't do very well. We don't do very real well when things change in our lives, when things are suddenly taken away from us, or certain freedoms. We're forced to change the way that we, live with those freedoms, like going out to a local pool hall, calling a friend up and saying, "Hey, can I come over?" Now it's, "Hey, can I come over?" Well, I don't know. Do I have another pair of gloves handy? Do I have not gas masks? Do I have do I have dust masks? Do I have N95 masks? Do I have sanitizer? Do I have Clorox wipes? I mean, we have different protocols. Dan Post says, "I'm missing out on one of my greatest loves," at Daniel. "Cannot get out and hit the balls around." Well, I feel the same. However, I have another reason why I want to thank Tony K is because I've arranged with him to stream every Wednesday. I'm doing a thing called the Wednesday Grind. He's let me come to his shop and just practice for several hours, and I'm streaming it live on YouTube on this channel. So, feel free to join me on Wednesdays at like 10 or 11 a.m. And join me in the chat room. If you have any questions or shots you want me to set up, you want to set me up a prop shot or two, like challenge me to hit a ball right, then I'll take you up on that. So that's every Wednesday as well. And then I'm going to do this podcast, this LiveCast, every Sunday. And I'm only going to commit to about a month right now, because we don't know how long this is all going to last and how much this is really needed. But I do have some segments that I want to line up, especially meeting up with Jerry Matchin, to talk about how the rooms can move forward despite this quarantine situation. And if any of you guys in the chat room have ideas, you want to throw something out there, I'm happy to take it on. I'm happy to address any of your ideas or questions, okay? So, with that, I just want to say best wishes to all of you guys during these hard times. I want to, to all of you guys that are out of work right now and stuck at home, man, that's got to be tough. I mean, I'm kind of like worrying about, the money situation too. I'm like I said, I've had to cancel a couple of events, and who knows what we're going to be doing beyond that. But for all of those that, look at the people that live in Las Vegas, that work in the hospitality and the service industry, and in the gaming industry. Everybody's out of work over there. Essential workers. Those guys are the heroes right now. They're on the front lines. They're showing up every day, and they're kind of like risking their livelihood. They've got to go back home to their families, their loved ones, and their loved ones are, they're at risk as well. So, I want to thank all of those people for just being at the grocery store when I need them, and the guy who's delivering the Amazon, orders that we make. This is like incredible what people do to step up and help each other in times like these. So I'm really impressed by some of the things I do see. Civil workers, all those people, essential workers. I sure wish pool halls were essential, but so speaking of which, though, have been some cancellations out there. You know, the World Cup of Pool. I'm sorry, the World 9-ball is being canceled. Do I think the Expo will be canceled in June? If I'm not mistaken, did it not get postponed? I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, I mean, the Expo, we have no way of knowing. We have an event in June as well that we've had to cancel or postpone, the Cole Dixon, to take place in Family Billiards in San Francisco. That's going to be postponed. So events that are taking place as far into late June are being postponed or canceled. But anyway, we do have some news to share with you guys, and I'm going to break into that now. Oh, by the way, did you guys know that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was an avid billiard player? It is said that he gambled his money playing billiards, and he made some of his greatest symphonies so that he would have money to continue playing. True story, folks. All right, so that being said, I have several news events that I want to share with you guys. You know what's really interesting about this whole quarantine situation is it just doesn't seem like people are letting up on the pool playing. Like, I see pool playing every day. I see it on Facebook. I see it on YouTube. It just seems like someone's doing something live all the time. I see it on Facebook right now. You can watch pool live. It's pretty amazing. And one of the things that we've been seeing lately is the ghost. You know, we've had recently a very big match between Pia Filler and April Larson that took place. And that was put on by Roy's Basement. And they played the Ghost against each other from separate locations. And it was streamed by Roy's Basement, by Ariel Roy. And they had a third camera for commentary. And they played a race to 50 against the Ghost. So with the photo there, you had Pia Filler at the top of the screen and April Larson at the bottom of the screen. And this took place April 19th, just a week ago. Audiences on Facebook were treated to a 9-ball match between two of the pool world's up-and-coming behemoth female players, Pia Filler and April Larson. April hails from Minnesota and Bloomington. And Joshua Filler's better half, Pia Filler, and the prodigious American billiard youth, April Larson. They went head-to-head against each other from separate locations in the U.S., playing 9-ball Ghosts to 50 games. The match was streamed live by Roy Francisco with Joshua Filler on the microphone with Roy Francisco. And I think you can still go to Roy's Basement on Facebook and you can watch that live stream that took place. I think it took place in 2 or 3 parts. And there was also some post-roll interview footage afterwards that took place. And within 2 hours or so, the match began to look a little lopsided with Pia Filler playing strong, a consistent pool, racking up wins against the Ghost and almost gaining a lead against the Ghost. While April Larson was off to a rocky start, she basically fell behind quickly in the beginning on the first. The whole thing took place in one day, I'm sorry. But in part one, April Larson was struggling a little bit, and she was down 12 to 19 games against the Ghost. You call it nerves or first round jitters. April did manage to turn herself around, like after the dinner break, at a score of 33 to 66. She lost. She was losing 33 games behind the Ghost. She ended up running a 7-pack, but it did prove to be too little too late for April, because Pia's ability to maintain position and close out games at almost a 50% success rate resulted in a final score of 50 to 51 against the Ghost for Pia Filler. She almost beat the Ghost. She was at 49 games, and the Ghost was at 49, and she lost. She lost to the Ghost 51 to 50. But that's extremely solid for such a long race, you know. April's finish was at 50 to 74, so 24 games behind the Ghost. A difference of 23 racks, almost 25% less wins. But I did happen to find out that April wasn't practicing as much as Pia was, and she had the luxury of having Josh Filler around to hit balls with, and you know that's basically, that speaks for itself, doesn't it? So kudos to Pia, and actually kudos to Roy's Basement. Good job, good stream. Like I said, you can watch it on Facebook, and coming up on Facebook on Roy's Basement, I think we've got in May, isn't it? We've got Joshua Filler is going to be playing Justin Bergman. They're going to be playing like a 3-day 8-ball match. Now, that's not against the Ghost, I don't think. It's a one-on-one match. And they're going to hold it at a private room in Louisville, Kentucky. And the dates are May 15 to 17. It's rumored that there's 40,000 in the middle. And for more information, you can go to Roy's Basement on Facebook. So kudos to Roy, and shout out to you. And good luck to Josh Filler and Justin. Congrats to April and Pia. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more from these guys. Ghost matches. Ghost. By the way, the Ghost has also been paying a visit to Big Head Mike DeShane. Big Head Mike DeShane on Facebook. He doesn't go by Big Head, but that's a term of endearment that came around about 6 years ago. Mike DeShane's been playing the Ghost. It's been streaming on his Facebook page. You can visit Mike DeShane on Facebook. But he's been playing shorter races. He's been playing 10-ball against the Ghost. He's been playing like races to 9, and I believe he beat the Ghost 9-1 in his first match. The match that I watched was 9-5. And it's still viewable on Facebook at Mike DeShane. It took just about 56 minutes to play out. And, that's pretty strong. 56 minutes for a race of 9 10-ball. The veteran Mosconi Cup Team USA player, he's taking on a short race format. And he's probably not making Casper too happy, beating him 5-9, 9-1, 9-5. And the funny thing is the match I watched where he won 9-5, he actually lost the first 2 games just being careless. And then he just goes ahead and makes 4 in a row. And that's where we pretty quickly we realized that Ghost is probably getting hustled at this point. So Mike ends up winning 9-5. But it's really cool to watch these guys play the Ghost, and they're streaming it live on their own Facebook pages. And that's cool. I personally, I like to stream on YouTube, but that's a whole nother subject altogether. Check in with this chat room real quick. Geraldine, she says, the Ghost's getting more action than a worker at the Bunny Ranch. Yeah, there you go. The Bunny Ranch. Wambra says, she beat the Ghost in my mind. You talking about Pia? Yeah, Pia Filler. Only losing to the Ghost by 1 game in a race to 50. I mean, that is strong. And by the way, I was very impressed with Pia's abilities, actually. She's definitely up there. I think she's like a Fargo rate 7 something right now, 716 or that's pretty high. I mean, 720 is pro speed. But I could be mistaken. Maybe somebody in the chat room wants to chime in and let me know what her Fargo rate is. But pretty awesome. What else is in the news? Boosty and Alex played a match, didn't they? The Legends of One Pocket is what it's called. So these guys, they played over the weekend. Yes, they did. And I think they played Race 24. It was a pay-per-view event. Streamed by that guy out in Louisiana. Boosty actually maintained a slight lead throughout the match until from 8-6, and then at the end of day 1, then Boosty made it 16-3 at the end of day 2, so he was ahead again, and it was 21-16 Boosty when Alex made a huge comeback to tie it up 21 apiece. So he won 5 games in a row, and then from there, Alex still holds it down. He defeats Boosty 24-23. Amazing show of One Pocket and Heart by Alex Pagulayan and Francisco Bustamante. Boosty is definitely one of my favorite players. I think he plays with more heart than any player that I've ever known or seen. Definitely, he's a veteran of the game. He's in his mid-50s now, I think, and he definitely plays like one of these old school guys from back in the day with a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, and I really appreciate anything that Boosty does in the game. Congratulations to Alex the Lion, who's probably in the top 3 One Pocket players in the world. So, Wambra says, pool's going to devolve back into the pay-per-view model, huh? I don't think so. I wouldn't worry about that, sir. In Arizona, we've got action. And who's bringing the action? Scott Frost. These matches are being put on by AZ Pool 15 Billiards, which is Junior Flores's deal. Shout out to Junior Flores in Arizona. And he's got a King of the Hill. I love how they're just calling these things quarantine matches, quarantine fight, like quarantine. Like, how much can we play out that word quarantine? Like, what's the isolation tank, whatever you want to call it, man. Quarantine stream. I think I did a hashtag on that for one of my own things, but still, I think we're really, come on, let's come up with something a little bit better than just quarantine. Crying out loud. Anyway, wait a minute. This was 10 days ago, wasn't it? There was a King of the Hill match between Gus and Scott, and they've been live streaming on Facebook weekly King of the Hill matches. The action matches have been at least $600 in the middle, a bonus of $200 from sponsors. They're small wager matches, but you know what? You gotta give these guys credit for putting the matches together, being willing to be played, live streamed, and to provide you guys with the current entertainment. Because I know how important it is to watch things that are unfolding live. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. There's only so much ESPN Classic you can watch, or there's only so much reruns of boxing, wrestling, whatever sport you're is, even pool. There's only so much of that you can watch. You already know the outcome to most of it. And so to be able to see these live events is a huge luxury. Huge luxury. Anyway, Gus Brazano, he's taken the title a couple of times, this King of the Hill title. He matched up with the likes of Scott Frost and Tim Daniel in Arizona. And this past Friday, Scott played Ruben Silva, defeating him 9-0 and 9-1, that's pretty hefty. But, it is frosty. So, what else? If you're looking for action in Arizona, Junior Flores is the matchmaker. Hey, Geraldine, want to go to Arizona for a couple days? See if I can get some action in Florida. So, that being said, AZ Pool 15, if you look them up on Facebook, you'll find them. Junior Flores, you'll find them. How about that guy, Scott Frost? I think you'll find him. You might even find Gus Brazano. I don't know if Gus Brazano's on Facebook. All right. Did we get a line on what Pia Filler's Fargo rate is? No, I guess we didn't. All right. Yeah. Quarantine. All right, so with that, I'm going to take a quick break. We've got more stuff coming. I'm going to be showing an action match, not an action match, a tournament match today that nobody's ever seen. Shane VanBoening versus Richard the Hat Geiler. Do you guys know that name? Very, very prominent name amongst us locally in the pool world. The guy is a gem. I don't know what to say. Richard Geiler playing Shane VanBoening will be coming up later on this live stream. We'll be right back, though, right after this. I swear, right after this.
Into your eyes, I see we're out of time. I guess no one's to blame, nobody crossed the line. I guess we couldn't see, somehow we couldn't feel. Maybe we rose too fast, maybe we got too high. But be on our separate ways as we fade into gray. But I still miss the way you used to feel. Maybe we rose too fast, maybe we got too high. Yeah, I do remember tears and the laughter. How could we fall so fast and let us go? It's time to surrender now that it's ended. Nothing to say, 'cause guess we've said it all. Now why do we care to dream? Guess we wanna believe that it's not too late. And why do we care to dream? We gotta believe it is not too I look into your eyes, I see we're out of time. Did what we could, my friend, but now we're at the end.
Check 1, 2. Okay, we're back, and I wanted to thank Bob Beaulieu for providing us with some photos, and he said that he's been using this quarantine time to sort out all of his photographs that he's been collecting over the years, and so with that, I'm able to, with his permission, he's allowed me to put a couple of compilations together so that we can show you some of the memories that have taken place over the years at different pool events across the country. So thanks a lot for that, Bob Beaulieu. You can check him out on Facebook if you're interested in looking at more of his photos. He says he has over 20,000 photos on his Flickr site alone. So with that, I want to move into the next segment, and that is Venom Trickshots, Florian Kohler, who is a very important man in the pool world right now. Very, very important man. Wait, is that him? Hey! I think we are. Florian, I want to congratulate you, man. I mean, you have just broken a whole new world record, right? The Guinness Book of World Records. And this is your second one, right? What? Okay. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about this particular record that you broke last weekend. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Ho- Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting reports that your audio is low or off, so hold on. Super confusing sometimes. Yeah. Test audio. Yeah, I've got that. How's that? Hold on. Let's see if these guys can hear you. Hello? Stand by. Where'd I go wrong here? Whoa, where'd I go wrong here? Oh. Uh-oh. Geraldine? Maybe hit cancel? No. Yeah, cancel. So for those just joining us, we have a Skype call that we are trying to feed into this live stream with Florian Venom Trickshots Kohler, and we were just congratulating him on breaking a new world record with the Guinness Book of World Records. And I think the record was to perform more trick shots in a 24-hour period than anyone else in history. That's it, right? That's the record? No, yeah, I don't think anybody can hear you yet. So let's. I'm wondering, maybe we should just do this like. I mean, we can see you. Maybe we should get a speakerphone going, and we'll just do it on speakerphone. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We'll just work it out like that for now. Because I definitely want audience to hear from you. And in a way, it's okay that your audio was down because you started to kind of spoil it for me. I also wanted to congratulate you on 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and that's the really amazing thing. But anyway, I'm going to call you now.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna mute. Yep. How's the echo now?
It's there.
Oh.
Hold on. Black Magic Audio capture. Monitor off. Yeah. Check 1 2. I got feedback for you.
Yeah, it's just all right. I mean, I could move out of the way that just gives me no picture.
There you go. I think that's better.
Okay, if you guys can deal with the echo, but it's really bad on my side, but I can cut it.
Yeah.
That's on your
I'm gonna
end,
cut
Daniel.
every sound that I have.
No,
here.
it's on my end. It's on my end.
Okay, cause
So.
you have the echo, not me, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm here with Florian Kohler. This is just, this is what happens during live events sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my computer was working just fine yesterday, right? So
I know it was working well yesterday. I know, but I also take responsibility because I moved you away from Rendezvous to Skype instead, and we didn't get a chance to really configure Skype. And for technical reasons, there were some other reasons why I couldn't use Rendezvous. So, that being said, maybe we could just record something, and
Sure.
and I could get something to play for people later on this week. But honestly, congratulations. What I really wanted to ask you is that. Do you find it difficult to kind of to top yourself? Because right now you're probably the biggest brand name for pool and billiards especially when it comes to artistic billiards. Are you finding it hard to kind of top that, to beat yourself, over and over again, or even find it? Has it been hard for other people to compete with you?
I mean, I feel like the idea of what I'm doing, the trick shot, and not just artistic pool, but like the more extreme side of the trick shot, it's always been to top, myself pretty much. Beginning when I started, it was more, we're gonna recreate what somebody did, and once you did that, then you try to do your own thing that was a little tougher, and see if somebody was come up with. But it's been a couple years, 3 years, I would say, that honestly, I haven't seen anybody coming close in terms of technique and some of the stuff. So I mean, I know it sounds like very not humble, but honestly, it is kind of the truth. Like, usually I'm the one that come up with the stuff, and then I see people turn copy, but I don't really see something new that just stands out. And I'm like, oh crap, I got to do that. I got to top myself there. So that was sort of out of the way. So it's always been from there, kind of like, okay, what am I going to do that I can top myself? And then, whatever, if people copy, it's cool, but, it's not going to be the same. So we changed location. We tried different things. The shots get so evolved. And then I guess, the last aspect that we've never really tried is the physical aspect of it, and I think this needs to be shown too for pool, because people don't realize how hard it is to actually practice and how much practice it takes to get good at it. And that includes not just trick shot, normal pool as well. There's a lot of blood, and tears and suffering that comes into this, and you just can't get good enough in like 2 minutes. It's just a lot of hard work, and I felt like the 24 hours was a good way to show people how we need to push ourselves and how you need to go over it, and just always try something harder, and especially in these rough times. And I think it's a good example to set. That was the idea too.
Well, I think it's amazing, especially the timing too, considering that you're just reaching 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is actually, I need to remind people that's pretty unprecedented. There's probably, and we can almost definitely say there's no other pool player in the world, or cueist in the world, that has 1 million subscribers, correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's actually the very first time in the cue sport, industry. That includes snooker as well. So it gives you sort of an idea of the feat. So yeah, the 1 million subscribers is huge, but it's not something that just happened overnight. That's just so many years of work in the making. That's why it was so important to do something about it. And yeah, I knew I was going to reach a number, because I know, I'm a pace of, gaining about 1,000 subscribers a day, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy to sort of calculate. Originally, I wanted to do this at a pool in Vegas, probably Griff's or Good Times or something like that. And
Yeah.
just involve a lot of people from the league, a lot of community, and get everybody in. Because I think that would have been a great way to share some fun stuff too. Maybe, have a nice little food and stuff and beverage. But, things changes. And honestly, I think the format was okay for those times. I think people are stuck at home, and might as well try to reach everybody from the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I noticed too. You actually streamed it for 24 hours, but you had you enlisted the help of one of your sponsors, the APA. The APA did the streaming for you at your home studio.
Actually,
is that correct?
No.
Tell me about
much
that.
More complicated than that. No.
Tell me
Funny
about that.
story. So before this all started, I do own the league in Las Vegas, and it was we really grew a lot last year.
Yeah.
Made a lot of efforts. We really pushed ourselves. So I decided to try to hire a friend of mine that's a good friend of mine from France.
Yeah.
In order to help us run it. So he came here about a week before this whole pandemic started. Basically, we got him started, and then we got shut down. And that's just pretty horrible. And then the thing is,
you got
he
shut
can't go back home.
You got shut down? Oh, because of the quarantine.
Yeah, so he gets stuck here anyway. So we're like, okay, so what are we gonna do to make the most of it? Because obviously I'm not just gonna be able to carry you in vacation here for another month. So we're gonna have to work.
Yeah.
And lucky for me, he's actually working in video cameras and stuff like that. Before that, so he knew a lot of things, and he decided to just take the streaming thing, really serious. And we started to do some stuff, and then kept going, and then realized that. Man, actually, we can do some really cool stuff with that OBS, software thing. And then the next good thing is I know everybody in town as far as video production goes, and we have one of my usual collaborator, I'll say, that is also out of work, and he had all these gears laying in his office, but can't use it. So we were able to borrow it, and we basically were able to produce something that is just way better quality than I would ever imagine was possible.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it was I was very impressed with the the presentation of it. The audio and the video was good.
Yeah, the only problem we had is we couldn't switch cameras because we were missing a couple key elements, like converters and plugs and stuff like that. And unfortunately, even ordering them online, it was just no point. They had no way to get them in time. So
yeah.
But we ended up being able to stream on an FX9. I don't know if you know your Sony cameras, but TV camera, worth $10,000. We got $5,000 worth of light. It's actually pretty amazing, So I basically have my own little studio now.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I remember us talking a couple of months ago about filming a show at your studio, and I knew already that it was like, look, you're trying to bite off more than we can chew. It wasn't your proposal, but it was somebody else's proposal because and based on the budget, because you really do need good equipment to do something as well as you guys did it.
No, I mean, as much as I do, every little technical problem, like this today, for example, we tested on one platform, but then, you got to do the next thing the other day, and that's over.
Yeah.
So it's one thing when it's, it's pretty small, but when we're trying to do 24 hours of it, imagine there's a problem about hour 20 and, the performance is all canceled. So no, that's, it took definitely a lot of work, but it was fun, it kept us busy.
Yeah.
And, honestly, I think it was actually easier than I thought. I only had a few hours when I felt a little down.
Yeah.
Probably like hour 29, 19, whatever. But past that, I could have probably kept going another 10 hours after. So.
Yeah, you had already basically broken the record in this first 6 hours, correct?
Yeah, the record was 120, which I don't know how the guy did it, if he was sleeping or doing it, I mean, honestly, I'm not sure, right? And so we did a little test, obviously, before we did some testings, and I knew time-wise that the 120 shots I could do in 2 rounds, something like this, or maybe 3.
Yeah.
So I know how much I take per round. So it was pretty easy to accumulate. We were aiming for 500 shots, and then I guess everything just went really well, and 753 happened. That's
a lot of shots, man. 753 shots. Wow.
The success rate is pretty much what also, made the number possible, because I think after 24 hours, I was still in that 70, 73, almost 74% success rate.
Yeah.
So that's pretty high for, shot that I also don't really play during my shows either.
So where do you go from here? I mean, what I've also been seeing is, and I actually respect this quite a lot. I have a lot of respect for you because I know that you, your bread and butter is to go out there and kind of do shows and do events. And you basically, I don't think a lot of people understand what kind of travel itinerary you must have and like how exhausting all of that can be, and just managing the events in general, and getting to them on time and all that.
Well, I mean, last year was 120 flights for me, and I don't know how many car trips, right? So you're talking about a day out of 3 pretty much out of the house.
Yeah.
It's rough, but it's also fun. So I mean, as much as I love traveling when I started, the travel got old pretty quick, I'd say. But the shows, I still love them. The connection you have with the public, the way you can interact with people, the way that you can actually promote the game and just have fun.
Yeah.
I think it's just I think it's priceless, and and like we talked about it before, and like another professional player, when they play a tournament, there's always the stress because, well, if I don't win, I might lose money. I might actually, be down. For me, it's like I go there, do my show, I know I'm paid, even if it's not that much.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm going to make sure something is positive for pool out of it, and that's just gold, I think it's,
A lot of people take your situation for granted. They might think that you already have, you've already arrived and you found it all already, but you still struggle a little bit to grow, don't you? Because I know that you've also expressed an interest in wanting to become a pool player or a billiards player. And then I've also seen you very recently, and I'm very impressed with some of the instructional stuff that you've been doing. And I think that there's a new avenue of growth for you there, don't you think?
Well, it's still his only pool, right? So, I mean, if you're, I'd say another athlete and you're at the top peak of it, whatever, you might be making a lot more money than pool. And that's just the way, that's the nature of the beast, right? But, I mean, we still love our sport, and there's nothing to do against it. It's just you constantly have to reinvent yourself. You constantly have to evolve with the times. And obviously, I did so many trick shots, and they're getting so complicated and so expensive to produce that we do have to, I do have to come up with other content, and in order to keep the channel growing and try to make a little money out of it, especially in those tough times when my show's avenue is completely blocked. There's no way I'm going to travel this year, and I'm honestly very worried for pool players as well, because no traveling means, no revenues for any of us.
Yeah.
So who knows how long this is going to last, and, hopefully this goes back to normal, but, my guess is we're probably stuck till fall, and I mean, if I got no show till fall, that means I got no money coming in. In the meantime, I got payments from other stuff, the league that I just purchased last year, which was a really big purchase, was hoping it would take care of itself by just, running. But without being run right now, it's, it's very complicated. So, we definitely have problems like everybody else. But so now the only thing that I've left is social media, and I'm going to have to push this as hard as possible, I guess, in order to survive as much as possible during this pandemic thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not alone too. I mean, we're all having to improvise in some way, shape, or fashion. And we really have similar business if you think about it. I mean, you also traveling a lot, going to events. Using pool tournaments as a vector of your media, and then using a little bit of social media. But we all know social media revenues are very limited, not like what people think. So to just make a full living out of it would be incredibly difficult. Yeah. I mean, I would have to say, a third of my income has been just upon the kindness of strangers and supporters.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's always a blessing. But
well, that's also a lot of work that you guys have to put down every time. I mean, that's all day at the tournament. You can't leave the computer alone. Every little technical problem, the equipment that costs a fortune. I mean, that's really not easy.
No, it's not. But I didn't want to talk about myself. I really, what I want to do is I want to congratulate you, and I really appreciate the time that you're giving us.
Of course,
and I also, one thing I did forget to cover with you was the issue of your recent acquisition of the APA in Las Vegas, and I really wish you the best of luck with that too, because I completely forgot that you guys had that issue as well.
It is pretty tough right now, but once again, when you have the opportunity to do something you love for a living, I don't think we're fit to complain. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot worse situation. There always is. And right now, we're just stuck at the house, and I'm stuck at the house with 3 tables, so I can't really complain.
What do you do?
It's just,
What do you do to work with sponsors during a time like this? Do they throw you ideas? Do you throw them ideas? What's the shorthand like with those guys?
I'll say it depends a little bit on the companies. APA has been very active in general, so they keep throwing me ideas more than the reverse, but then we kind of go back and forth and bounce at each other, for the 24 hours. We're able to do so we did the whole live there in our side, and then they did some small lives together in between and during, like a check up on me and those things. Then we did a little Venom versus Venom match, a fun thing last week. So we always try to come up with stuff. And then some other brands are more, I'll say, classic. So you kind of have to give them a content, little words of encouragement or something like that. But I can tell you one thing: I've never had that little time in my life at this point. Like, this is every day somebody requests something.
Oh yeah.
There's something to do, and if it's not a brand, it's for myself. So it just never stops,
And they know where to find you now, right?
Well, yeah, and I guess that's
you can't hide.
It's part of the nature of the beast, right? I mean, I guess you're the most active on social media. You're gonna be the first person they sort of ask to go to. But as much as I can do it, I will always do it because I think it's a good promotion for the sport of pool. And once again, who are we to complain? When we do something we love for a living. So
exactly.
It's At the only, it would be nicer if money was following, but as long as we can survive, we should be okay. So we'll
absolutely see. Okay. Well, good. Do you and your wife have something upcoming?
We don't.
Geraldine just came out to. She wanted me to ask you that. You got a baby in there?
I don't think so. I mean, we might come up with a few more videos or.
Oh, they have. Do you have an event or something? Do you have anything upcoming?
No, not at this point. No, I mean, right now it's very tricky to tell. I mean, we had our Venom versus Venom match. That was for fun, and I almost slept on the couch. But we did the APA handicap race, and I played as a 9+, and she played as her usual at level 4.
Oh, the Venomette match. That's what she was asking about.
That already happened. That was Friday.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun, but I was a little worried for my well-being.
What? Why?
People actually like it, so we might have to do a second revenge thing. So we'll see.
Okay, all right. I tell you what, if you could send me the bloopers to that, I'll play them next week.
There's no blooper. It was pretty live. So, but I come. We started it. I gave her the break, then I briefly ran out.
Yeah.
And I had the worst eyes I've ever seen in my life, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is it. So I try to slow down a bit and stuff, but my table is also completely destroyed, and it was playing very rough because after the 24 hours and all those videos.
Oh yeah.
I have pictures that we sent you. I mean, you couldn't see it on camera, but man, that table was playing rough. So I just I'm basically playing on slate at this point. I need this quarantine over so I can have somebody change my felt. I can tell you that.
You probably go through cloth like it's diapers, man. Like, I mean.
Usually every 3 months.
That's a lot of cloth, man.
It is, yeah, it is.
That's a lot of cloth. All right, well, you alone is helping the industry, so that's a good thing. Just by consuming
honestly,
cloth.
If anybody is a consumer, that would be me. In between balls, cues. And
well, when do you consider balls old? When do you consider balls old and then need to be changed?
Well, actually, see, this is the thing that I've never quite understood is why people don't change balls more often. Because you're a great player, so you know. But when you buy a brand new set of balls, it reacts differently than a set that's 2 years old, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the nature of what it is, and it really does. So for me, Trickshots, like you've seen me doing shows, I don't use any silicone. I don't really spray.
No, you don't.
Like that. I just use what it is. The only trick, and it's not really a trick, is I always have clean new cue balls. And in my opinion, the structure of the phenolic ball, it doesn't matter what brand it is, after 3 months in play, it changes.
Yeah.
And I think from there, it slides less. It plays different, so you can clean as much as you want. It will play very different. So the one thing I do is I change cue ball every 3 months usually.
Yeah.
So that's one thing as well. So when I change felt, I usually change cue balls. At least cue balls if I don't have a new set of balls.
Okay.
And then Yeah, then tip probably every 3 months as well. I'd say, depending what it is. I mean, mass AQ could be way often than that. Could be every 2 months.
Well, you have like 30 cues, right? I mean, so.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to give you a count. I don't even know.
It's just. I mean, whenever I see you show up for a show, and by the way, I've seen a lot of your shows just because, and we've covered, I think, like maybe 7 or 8 of your shows, but
I think so, yeah.
But every time I see you, you've got more cues, and you already had like 30 when you came in, like
not really. I mean, when
I first saw you.
I have about 12, I think, and then I might have a few extra jump cues here and there or something like that.
It just looks like 30.
More than that. Because I can tell you, I got a 4x8 plus a 5x3, or 5x4, something like. Well, no, actually, never mind. That's 3x5. Yeah. So I have 3x5 and a 4x8. That's all I got. Okay. So during shows, but after that, I got several jump cues and this like. But here at the house, I got a bunch of extras. Like 2 spares mass AQs and about 5 spare shafts and about a spare butt, like a butt that's half cracked and all those fun things. So yeah, it's hard to give accounts.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could always, if if things get real tight, you can open up the little used cue store, the online billiard supplies.
Cues, right?
Yeah. Just remember, make sure you sign everything.
We've done a few cool things actually. The signed memorabilia. Every ball that has a world record usually stay out of my table.
Yeah.
I need to keep it there. A felt that's got some of a special thing out of it. We usually, cut the felt after that.
Okay.
Sign the PCs and frame it. I mean, it's actually
that's really
cool
nice.
Memorabilia we could do.
Yeah.
And I mean, some part of the felt is just so fun that it's like it's the real thing. There's no way somebody's just selling you a piece of felt because, well, it's been so abused that it's
Yeah.
I know it's mine.
Yeah. Well, with that, Florian, I want to wish you and the Venomettes want to wish you guys the best of health, and hope you're doing okay. Please stay in touch with us from Las Vegas.
Will do.
If there's anybody you want to say hi to right now, or
No, obviously, just want to thank all my pool community, the pool friends we have, because I know a lot of this would have not been possible without you guys. I mean, 1 million subscribers is pretty big, and I know we have a lot of pool players, a lot of people I know in there.
Yeah.
And then, to everybody else, I got to say, through the years, my haters got lower and lower. We still have a lot, we still get the same people that over and over says, but he can't play pool, this and that. But honestly, I'm past that point right now, and I'm really focused on trying to get the game as promoted as possible and try to, advertise to the younger generation. And all I got to say is, if you guys hearing that, I'm always there trying to do my things, trying to bring new blood in, and then the rest is up to you guys, all the good players, to try to keep those people in and keep those youngsters interested.
Yeah, I see that in you, and that's why I've always supported you. I've always, even though it's really hard on the streaming side to get good numbers for artistic billiards for some reason. I don't know what it is, but we don't. I don't care. I still will always support you, Florian, and I wish you the very best in the future as well. Let's get through this, and I'll just see you at the next event. How about that?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds great.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, all the best, Florian. Take care,
Bye,
and stay safe. Thanks a lot. All right, that was Florian Venom Trickshots, and we wanted to congratulate him for not only 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but also for his recent Guinness Book record that he broke for 753 trick shots performed in a 24-hour period. And so that's not. Let's keep that in mind. There's a curriculum for that too. It's not just trick shots performed, but it's successful trick shots performed as well. So congratulations to him. It's very nice to talk to him. I wish him the best of luck with his APA League in Las Vegas, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more about Florian in the upcoming months and years as time goes by. So with that, I basically have one other segment I want to share with you guys. We do have a couple more things I would like to say regarding Jeanette Lee, the Black Widow. She had surgery, and she's getting back to the pool table, and we would just like to wish her well, not only with her physical recovery, but with her recovery of the game, because I know how hard it is to come back to the game after being away from it. And yes, I just wanted to say that it is official. The World Cup of Pool that was scheduled in Saudi Arabia, or I think it's the World 9-Ball Championships, or is it the World Cup of Pool? It's the World Cup of Pool, scheduled in Saudi Arabia for the end of June. Thank you, Geraldine. Has been postponed. Matchroom Pool and the Ministry of Pool have been working together on this event, and they will notify people when it's being rescheduled. So you can just check out matchroompool.com to find out more about that. And so with that, I want to, I'm going to read you guys a quick excerpt from a book that I have that I think all of you should have. It's called the Billiard Encyclopedia. So with that, I'm going to read this excerpt, and then we're going to get started right into Shane VanBoening versus Richard Geiler, Rich the Hat, and I'm going to do live commentary on that match as well. So enjoy this little excerpt from the Billiard Encyclopedia. You want to hook up the music and stuff?
You didn't put the music in.
What's that?
You didn't put the music in.
Oh, I didn't put the music in. Where's the music? We need music.
Did you download it?
What's that?
Did you download it?
I don't know if I downloaded it. No, maybe I didn't. Check. Woo! We will be doing this to the sound of Mozart, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the Sonata in C.
If I can find it.
His Mozart's number 19 in C major. I'll drop it in. Stand by, guys. This is live, folks. Live! What the hell? Here we go. Music.
Oh, I put it in insert.
Mozart. Okay, there we go.
No, but I like the other one
All right.
better.
She likes the other one better. What's the other one?
No, I put it in inserts.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Inserts?
It's just click here. Click here. Add.
Add? Media?
Yeah.
Media source? No. Add.
Audio.
Add. No. VLC video source.
Really?
Yep. There it is.
And then there's one more.
Where is it?
You put it somewhere.
I did. Music.
Here.
Music. Mozart. Bam. Bam. Okay. 1970. No, not 1970. By 1750, the popularity of the sport, the demand for tables and implements of the game had spread throughout all levels of society. The aristocratic pastime had quickly become a favorite sport, not only for the amusement it provided the public, but it also gave people social standing that attributed to it by a new upwardly mobile class. As in Europe, history was repeating itself in the colonies. It became fashionable to own a billiard table. In the Pennsylvania Gazette of April 1751, there's an ad placed by a Mr. Walter Docherty that reads, "A fine large brick house, completely furnished. Likewise, a billiard room and a good billiard table." Even without an industry to support it, billiards' popularity was widespread in America's early years. This popularity brought additional income to the craftsmen who could fashion the sports equipment. These specialized craftsmen signified the beginnings of a billiard trade in the colonies. There were no catalogs, specific guides, or guidelines to follow, but ivory balls could be bought from goldsmiths, instrument makers, and turners. Cloth and leather trim for pockets and cushions were readily available from upholsterers. Cabinet makers would supply the tables, maces, and cues for a variety of games and table sizes. One upholsterer who could cover a table was Francis Dartridge, who in the Maryland Gazette of January 1784 begged leave to inform the public that he makes all kinds of work in that business and fixes billiard table cloths. Other early references to craftsmen, primarily makers offering billiard tables for sale, can be found in similar publications of the period. In 1726, a table was advertised for sale by Matthew Garrigues of Philadelphia. Benjamin Randolph, another Philadelphia cabinet maker, ordered a pair of ivory balls from John Elunsley, a Philadelphia turner, in 1768. Again in Philadelphia in 1774, Andrew Caldeling rented a space from a cabinet maker, David Evans, to make him a billiard table. The price for the table was £10. William Gordon, a Baltimore cabinet maker, produced an exceedingly good billiard table, equal, if not superior, to any in the state, with balls, tacks, etc., and offered items for sale in Maryland, in the Maryland Journal, on July 4th, 1780. Stuffing for the cushions of billiard tables had gone through many changes from the hair, cotton, and flax described in Charles Cotton's The Complete Gamester, written in London, 1674, to a variety of felt wool strips called list. Netted cotton cord pockets were framed by leather covered brass semicircles. Billiard pockets made to order were advertised by a manufacturer of fashionable net trimmings. Fancy cords and tassels of fringe in the Aurora Gentile Advertiser of October 12, 1799. And brass pocket frames are illustrated in the catalog of an English hardware firm, published in 1803. The cost of the pockets was 9 shillings apiece. Billiard Encyclopedia, everybody. Learn a little bit about the history of the sport. I'll read you another excerpt next week if you like. But I think that excerpt, which was chosen by Geraldine, is also indicative of how people come together to make things happen. How we all pull resources together. We make the industry what it is ourselves. You know, we're all improvising, we're all hustling. You know, we're all just trying to get by in this world. We don't all know what we're doing. We're blind, you know. We're like the blind leading the blind in many, many cases. And sometimes you write your own script. You write your own, you know, ticket. And that's nothing different than what they were doing in the 1800s and the 1700s in the colonies and in Europe and in the United States of America. So what it is that you have, this relationship with this game that you have today, it means something. No matter what you think, no matter what you think's going on in the world right now with this quarantine and lockdown or whatever, and you just can't wait to get out and hit balls again or whatever, there's something you can be doing. You have a talent. You have some sort of, purpose behind all of this. Whether or not it just to be as a fan to appreciate the game and share that appreciation with your friends and family, or whether it is to actually manufacture and make something, or maybe you're even just a great competitor and you're a great player. So with that, I want to thank you, and I want to thank the Billiard Encyclopedia for its wisdom. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with Richard Geiler and Shane VanBoening playing at the Don Weir Memorial Tournament. And before I start this, I want to give a shout out to Jason Weir, to Sean Damani, to Shane VanBoening, Corey Dool, and everybody, and Joel Brunk, everybody over there, Dexter Real and Nina. Everybody over there that is in Palm Desert that might be watching this. And I hope you enjoy this match between Rich Geiler and Shane VanBoening. I'm going to have a sip of water, and then we're going to start this match. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. 9-ball action. Welcome back, everybody. This is Daniel with POV Pool. We're watching Shane VanBoening versus Rich the Hat Geiler. Going head-to-head against Shane in a hot seat match of the Don Weir Memorial 9-ball tournament that took place at TJ's Pasta and Spirits, Steaks, Pasta and Spirits. And Jason Weir, Don Weir's son, put this tournament together. 16 players altogether. And the tournament director was Dexter Real of D-Real Promotions. He and his wife and Abram, I want to say, was a co-tournament director on this. And my friend Luke Bodenheimer and I, we had the pleasure of going out, shooting a few interviews, and covering the Final Four of this tournament. So we have, actually, the Final Four are Rich Geiler and Shane, also Sean Damani and Corey Dool. The Final Four players in this invitational event that took place at TJ's in Palm Desert. TJ's is like the hub of activity for pool. That's Sean Damani in the background. He's woofing at someone, telling them he needs a spot or something. As you guys know, Shane's a 5-time U.S. Open World champion. And he's basically a favorite to win this event. Some of the players in this event were lower caliber players. They were only like 500 players, 550, 600 players. And, you know, Shane's like an 840, I think. They didn't put it together this way to make people suffer to have to play Shane. They put it this way. They put it together this way so that they could memorialize Don Weir, who was big for pool in the Southern California area, in the Palm Desert, Palm Springs area. And TJ's is, like I said, is the hub for a lot of the pool goings-on in the Palm Desert area. There aren't a lot of rooms with pool tables in Palm Desert anymore. Beautiful combo by Shane. Took a while to play that shot. Hard work's done, looks like. Nice little bump there. Bump the 3. Develop the 3 a little bit for position. Good speed. And you can pretty much count Shane out from here, but you never know. Make him shoot it. That's what I always say. Make him shoot it. Look at this. The 9. Early 9. Of course, it didn't. Rich the Hat. He wants to hear Merle Haggard. Play a little Merle Haggard. Haggard, please. This is an alternate break format, folks. Oh, and this is race to 6. The score is 1-0 right now. 1-0. My goodness. Where is my scoreboard? I don't have a scoreboard, guys. I'll add it later. It's 1-0. Race to 6. Rich Geiler hails from Seattle, and I have to say, I have been seeing him around for almost 30 years. And to be honest with you, I never had the pleasure of meeting him until this event. And he is a distinguished man, I tell you that. Just like you see him here, he has showed up to events ever since I can remember, always dressed to the nines, and dressed for success, you know what I mean? Okay, so Rich tried to play a safety there, and he miscued, so it's ball in hand. Bar tables, you know, you gotta bump balls for position sometimes. Can be tough. Looks like he's playing to where he wants to shoot the 3 between the 5 and the 9. Yeah, so he's just playing for position in between those two balls on the 3 ball. He's on the right side of the ball there, so he's able. He didn't want to be on the rail, but I guess he'll settle. Is he going to bump into this 9? No, he's going to pass the 9. Play for the 5 in the side. Just like that. Shane pulls it off. 2-0 against Rich Geiler. Alternate break format once again, guys. I'm just going to remind you. So you're not going to see the winner breaking all the time. Finals of this event, I believe, was race to 11, if I'm not mistaken. I've yet to get to the editing on that last match, but I'm gonna give you these matches one by one every week, and they'll all be edited together. Nice break there by Shane. He's off and running again. Wow, he's inside. Follow there. Did not want to get stuck behind that 8, so he went in between the 3 and the 8. Now he's back cutting, but he's got to watch out because the 5 ball could be a problem. He needs to come around that 5 somehow. There you go. Oh, yeah, he just flicks off of it. So he's open for the 4 in the corner now. Rodney Sanford says, where's the social distancing? This is a pre-recorded match that took place in February, folks. So that's where your social distancing is. It's in the past. Well, it's in the present. This, incidentally, was one of the last events we did any coverage for before jumping into quarantine. So, and this is one of those rare times where we didn't do any streaming here. We just provided some video recording services, and I did some editing thereafter. 3-0. Shane VanBoening. Come on, Rich. Somebody put on some Merrill Haggard for him, so he can get the flow going. Oh, there's a good break. Wait, hold on. Where's that 1 ball? No scratch. Come on. Oh, he's hooked on the 1. What do you do here? Do you push? Where do you push to against Shane VanBoening? Is that like a thing? Can you even do that? Is that even possible? Oh, he can hit the 1. Oh, he can hit the 1. Oh, he's playing safe. Oh, no. Well, let's hope that distance is his friend. If Shane makes this 1 ball, we may very well see another run out. Look at this, is going around. 5 came into play. Wow, what's he got? Is this a triple combo on the 9? He's going to go for it, I think. Well, you know, he might be able to bump the 2 underneath that what is it, the 4 ball, 5 ball. There's 6 and 7, right? One of those is the 6, and that's the 7. So if he can hit the 2 underneath the 7, go rail first, and then hit the 9 in, that'll be something special, huh? Maybe play a 2-way shot. Play safe behind the... Oh, yeah, he tried that. He tried that. A little cheeky little shot here. Cheeky little shot. Rich actually flew down from Seattle to play this tournament. This was, I think it was $6,000 added. 16 players. $200 entry. And Rich is guaranteed 3rd place. So I'm hoping. I think he made his money back there. Just coming in 3rd, I think you're guaranteed at least $2,000. What a shot. What a shot. Uh-oh. Ooh, just made things pretty ugly looking there. Oh, wait. Dead ball. Dead ball alert, folks. You think it's fair that Shane gets lucky at all? I think every shot he should not just call the pocket, but call like exactly the whole plan, right? I don't think that's fair. It's not fair. He got a lucky roll. He got a dead ball out of that. He's got to call that. I think it's 4-0 already. For those just joining us, this is a match that took place in Palm Desert, California, back in February. This is the Don Weir 9-ball invitational tournament. And they're scheduled to have another one next year. They're scheduling. And if you stay tuned, after this match, we have a quick interview that we took with Shane that is played after this match. .40 already. What a cut on that 3-ball. What a nice shot. Good speed too. Perfect side of the 7. Although he might come in contact with this 8. He may just play to bump the 8 toward the right hand corner pocket. Yeah. Oh, he's scratched. Like, Richie.
I feel so bad for this kid right now. Okay, Ricardo, we're still in the game.
Wow, he has, he's all heart, this guy. He's all heart. You know, he's down, what? Is it 3-0, 4-0? He gets on the board. Woo! 3-1. This is a race to 6, folks. Race to 6. Boss Mustang says Shane is almost playing as fast as Mitch Ellerman plays. You're kidding, right? Oh, by the way, the Andy Mercer matches will be coming to you very soon on YouTube. So I know one of those matches, Mitch Ellerman beat, I think, Joe Azine in like 15 minutes. Race to 6, 9-ball. 15 minutes. Nice break. All right, Rich. Just don't get hooked. Oh, he's got a bank on this 2-ball, but he might be able to cut it in. Let's see what he does here. It's pretty easy bank too. Hit. Oh, it didn't go. Oh, don't keep it. Okay, so now. Well, Shane's got to bank this in. And I don't think position is really built in here because the 6 and the 9, they block the 4-ball. So he's got to be careful how hard he hits this bank or how soft he hits this bank. He hit it soft, and he missed.
I don't feel so bad missing my bag. You took lessons from me, Sean.
No, remember, this was a Sunday. This was a Sunday. The banks are closed on Sunday, folks. She goes. She keeps going. She keeps going and going. It's out of position. There's a bank into the side. Kick shot to the side, maybe. If you kick this to the side and try to stick the cue ball, then you could play like a two-way shot. A two-way shot to play safe. Like a spin kick. Okay, he banked it. He banked it. And he's still safe. Yeah, what are you going to do now, Shane? Huh? Yeah, Shane. Oh, what's he grabbing there? A little jump cue, huh? Oh. All right, so the 8 ball could be a problem here. Or it could work to his advantage. I don't know. And he can't really... He's got to watch out for the scratch in the side, I think. Jumping this 4. That was sick. Four 8 combo. Snooka says, Rich Geiler plays with guile. You know Rich, don't you, Snook? You guys should know each other personally. He's a hell of a guy, really nice guy. I mean, I don't know him that well, but from what I know, and I tell you what, if he's a friend of Don Weir's, then that's good enough for me. Slow down, man. All right. Believe that's 5-1. Trying to move this penny here, but it's 5 games to 1. We actually can see Jason Weir in the top right corner of your screen. Jason, who is Don Weir's son, he's sitting with his beloved Michelle Moore. And Jason did not make it into the top 4 of this event. He was knocked out, I think 7th, 8th, or 5th, 6th. I can't remember. But, for him, it was about bringing people together. It wasn't at all about winning this or, And I think for a lot of these guys, they all knew Don Weir, and they were, brought together by this event, which is a great bonding experience. Look at this. Oh! Oh, he's hooked. Oh, here he goes. Okay. As my friend Jimmy Mattia would say, you might as well be wearing diapers if you gotta use a jump cue. I mean, essentially, he's not right, but essentially what he's saying is that, Shane is rewarded for making a mistake there. He made a mistake. He overrolled and he got out of line, and he got hooked on the 8. Rich is throwing in the towel. All right, everybody. That does it for today's very first POV Pool live cast, streaming from POV Pool headquarters in Los Angeles, California. I hope you guys enjoyed that last match that we just did. We have another one coming up next week. It'll be Corey Duell versus Sean Damani. And I have a couple of interviews lined up as well, one of them with Sean Damani. And we're going to find out more about why we're talking to him. And also, I've arranged to meet up with Jerry Match and take some photos of his pool room and what he's doing to clean the place up and get the place ready for business again. And that is really what we all want. We want to get back in business. We want to get back out there. And, not too quickly, of course, but we want to do things in a responsible way so that we can keep pursuing what we love, which is pool and billiards and each other and the good times. You know what I mean? It's real hard It's real hard to have good times when you're cooped up alone sometimes, or with your loved ones under the same roof all the time. And we really look forward to the day that all changes. But in the meantime, I want to congratulate the rest of the pool world for doing what they do to continue to stay out there and keep playing pool. I mean, I'm seeing all of these live streams of people on Facebook. I think there's one already going on right now. Two guys been playing straight pool. Two older gentlemen been playing straight pool out of the garage for the last 3 hours. I mean, these guys can't stop. And also, join me every Wednesday for the Wednesday grind, streaming live from Tiger Products in Burbank at 11 a.m. The Wednesday grind. I think that's about it. Is that it? I think I have a Wednesday grind photo to show you. I do not. All right. Join my Facebook group, POV Pool on Facebook. All right. You guys keep loving pool, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next week, Sundays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Take care. Keep loving pool, everybody. Bye-bye now.